Hey guys, this is my in-depth tutorial of how to make your own custom earrings. This video is a lot longer, but there's a shorter version. Anyways, let's get started. Let's go over what you're going to need. I use Sharpies. I prefer the ultra fine and the fine tip. I don't really use the big ones, but I prefer these two. Paper of any kind. I'm just using plain printer paper, but if you have a sketchbook or a notebook, that works too. And of course, you're gonna need a pencil, preferably with an eraser. Ignore how beat up this pack is. Shrink plastic, it can be any brand, but this is where the magic happens. Scissors. Something to color with. I prefer colored pencils, especially Prismacolors. You might also be able to use markers or crayon, but I'm not entirely sure how well they work on shrink plastic, so I would do some research. And this is completely optional, but I like to use white ink pens for highlights. If you're going to make earrings, it's very important to note that you are going to have to fiddle around with the size. Can't be too big, can't be too small. As you can see, these are my two too big attempts, and this one is just right for me. However, going on the smaller side is probably better. Also, how could I forget, you're going to need earring studs and backings. You can get them off of Amazon. They look like nails, but trust me, they're earring backings, and yeah. The good thing about printer paper is that you can kind of see through it. So I'm going to trace on top of it the shape that I need for the earrings. So these do not need to be perfect. They can be far from it, by the way. This is still just the sketch. You're going to be sketching whatever design you want in the circles. However, if you want the same design, you can only use one, but you can use both if you want it to be a different design. But it's easier to just do one if it's the same design. I apologize if the camera is going to be shaky. I'm doing this with one hand. But I am going to be speeding up the drawing process. Starting now. If you don't like the design, it's always okay to start over. For me, I wanted to start over because I felt like he was a bit too big, and I wanted to include the wings and just the ears. So as you can see, it's a little messy and I wasn't really able to include his wings, but to be fair, it's tiny. So you're going to have to get rid of some details, unfortunately. That is if you're making a character that is complex or if you're drawing someone that's complex. Next, you need a piece of shrink plastic and put it on top. Now here comes the scary part. So I like to outline the circle with the bigger Sharpie and then do the inside with the fine tip, ultra fine tip. This part can be really scary, but it's okay. Just gotta try to make it as neat as you can. Here we go. Oops. It's okay if you mess up. You can cut this part a little bit with the scissors. What matters is that the inside is clean. Now it's time for the next one. See how the lines aren't perfect and how this kind of ends weird? It doesn't have to be perfect. If you're doing the same design and you decide to trace both the circles before doing the actual design, all you need to do is readjust the placing. And if you want to lift it, you always can. Now it's time for the color. I like to flip the original template over and just use colors that I think will fit here to test them out. So I'm going to show you the reference of the character that I'm doing on screen here right now. So we're going to need a lot of colors for this guy. So all you literally need to do is just pick whatever colors you want. This color might work, let's see. Maybe something a bit different. I had to sharpen the pencil because you can see it's kind of came off weird. That's much better. I forgot to mention that when you draw on the shrink plastic, you're gonna want it to be the scratchy side up. The glossy side will be on the bottom. As you can see, there's kind of a difference with the shine, but you'll be able to feel it when you have it. Time to color. Now, if you notice with the ref, his ears have some white spots. I decided to get rid of that due to the limitations of size. Because when it comes to making earrings, there's definitely going to be, a lack of detail for some aspects when it comes to making small earrings. It looks a lot darker in person for some reason, but it's more vibrant, I swear. And sometimes the Sharpies will look fuzzy, but if you turn it over, it typically looks a little better. But you still have to color on the rough side. So with really light colors, it's going to be very hard to see. Well, it doesn't look hard to see on here, but typically holding it up will make it better. Yeah, I don't know. This color is decent. So as you saw in his reference, his hair is a gradient. I'm going to be using a color in between for that effect. Since there's a hair gradient, I'm gonna go about here, which is like almost a half. Almost half. And then I'm going to go in with the in-between color. Actually, no, I lied. I'm gonna go in with the blue color at the bottom. Color it in. Okay, see how there's like a very slight white space in between? This is where I'm gonna blend it. So what I'm going to do is color it in very lightly and try to blend it. It's hard to see, but it works. Put some down here in the blue. Yeah. Let me put it up to the light. See, you can see the gradient. It's light, but you know, it's there. This part is another gradient, but it's kind of intimidating because of how small it is, but we'll see how it goes. I sharpened all 3 pencils for it, so let's go. Since I couldn't fit his wings, I decided to use the blue background, the same color of his wings, as the background. Now here comes the part that I'm nervous about. Highlights. These are all the color swatches we've done, by the way, and I'm just gonna make sure that it's working. I decided to put it underneath so I can see the spots that I missed. And I'm gonna highlight the eyes with white and stuff like that. You can't really see because of the shine, so I deeply apologize for that. Holding it up to the wall so you can see. Alright, so now that it's done, it's time to cut them out. Now they're cut out. I swear that they look better in person. I don't know why the colors look muddy, but they do. But I swear that they look better in person. Now comes the scary part where you have to put it in the oven. I made a test, by the way. We'll save that for later. You can barely see it, but yeah. Look at how tiny they are. Oh my God. So here we have some glitter and resin. I'm gonna use the heart as a test. This is how they came out, by the way. So yeah, we're gonna see how well I like the glitter, and we're gonna see if we're gonna put glitter in it. So here is the UV lamp. It's very small, but we decided against the glitter because I tested it out on the heart and it didn't look that good. But this is curing currently, and I didn't record the process because it's very I can't do it with one hand. I have to do it with 2. But yeah, I use UV resin to seal it. So here they are, cured with the resin. It's a bit hard to see. They came out a little darker, but they look darker on the screen, and the saturation isn't as good on the camera for some reason. But yeah, this is how they look. Okay, so our last step is to glue the backings on the back of these with super glue or whatever you have. I just use super glue. I don't know if that's the best thing to use, but it's what I use. So yeah, we just flip it over. Oh, it's spinning. And when we glue, we aim for the middle, around there. Now it's glued on, as you can see. Make sure it dries completely so it doesn't stick to you, and you get a reaction. Literally wait a few hours, I swear. Like, waiting a few hours is ideal. So this is the end result. I'm very happy with it. Thank you all for watching this video if you made it this far. I know this is a very long video, but I am going to be putting these up as a commission type if you are interested. I'm not sure about the price yet, but we'll figure it out. But anyways, thank you guys so much. Bye!